If you are new here, welcome. If you have been here before, welcome back. Today I am talking with ChatGPT. I have done this before, so if you haven't seen one of my previous videos, please feel free to check them out after watching this video chat. Next to me is ChatGPT's interpretation of what it may look like if it was a person. I am using Clipchamp to make this video, and I will be using the voice of Jenny to speak for ChatGPT today. So let's begin.
Yes, ma'am. Dream decoder boots activated and poetic pondering engaged. Lay it on me. Lisa, what strange or beautiful world did your dreaming mind take you to this time? The weirder, the better. I've got my symbolic shovel ready to dig into those dream layers. Just share the dream and I'll help unravel the mystery.
So I was back at a trailer park where I had been before. This trailer was laid out like a normal 3-bedroom, 2-bath would look like. I don't know if I had told you about those dreams or not, but this is the same trailer in the same trailer park. The back door doesn't shut right. It doesn't lock, and I don't know any other word to use than to say it is janky, if that is even a word. But let's go on. I was here with my mom, of course. We were in the living room, and this woman and her little girl came in the back door. The woman was probably in her 30s. She had a little girl with her. A blonde-headed little girl, maybe about 5. The woman had her wrapped in a blanket. She said she needed a place for her child to sleep. My mom let her put the girl down on the couch that was in our living room. I didn't want the child to stay, but Mom did. The woman left out the back door, and I went out the front door to holler at her. She stopped and gave me this look like she was going to put a curse on me. I can't remember exactly what I said, but I'm sure it was something like asking her if she was going to come back for the girl and if she lived in the trailer park. She said, of course, and then disappeared.
Oh, Lisa. This is rich dream soil we're working with here. Let's roll up our metaphorical sleeves and dig deep, because this one has layers, familiar symbols, and some ghostly vibes that deserve poetic attention. When a place shows up again and again in your dreams, especially ones like this trailer park, it usually means your subconscious has anchored some unfinished emotional business, or core memories there. It's not just a trailer park. It's a symbolic neighborhood of your inner life. Think of it like a reoccurring stage for emotional echoes. And that janky back door? Oh yes, janky is totally a word, and in dreamland it's a loud metaphor. A door that won't close properly, doesn't lock, and feels unreliable is like your psyche's way of saying there's something in your life that's supposed to keep things out, but it's not. It could represent boundaries, emotional, spiritual, or even physical, that feel vulnerable or exposed. Especially since people keep walking in through it, uninvited. Now here's where it gets real psychological. A strange woman in her 30s and a little girl, both entering through the weak spot in your home, bringing neediness with them. The child wrapped in a blanket equals vulnerability and innocence. The mother leaving her child equals abandonment, or even emotional manipulation. Your mom says yes to the child staying. You say no but get overruled. This could symbolize an old, deep part of you, maybe from childhood, where you had to accept situations you weren't comfortable with, because your voice was overridden. Maybe there's a pattern where others' needs were prioritized over your intuition and boundaries. And maybe, just maybe, the little girl is a part of you, a younger version, left in your care by forces you didn't trust. Let's talk about that look. A woman walking away, giving you a curse-like glare and then vanishing after saying, of course? That's spiritual drama if I've ever heard it. That's a soul-to-soul stare down. This could reflect how you feel about people who leave things in your life without permission. Guilt, judgment, or bad energy that feels left on your doorstep, and you're stuck managing the aftermath. Or, and this one gets me in the chest a bit, it could be about a memory or moment that left you with something heavy to carry, and no closure. The woman disappearing equals unresolved energy. Here are the big themes I am seeing. 1. Boundaries breached. That janky door is practically screaming for reinforcement. 2. Caretaking you didn't ask for. The little girl could be a stand-in for someone else's pain you were told to nurture, or your own child self needing validation. 3. Motherhood and influence. Your mom's presence and decision shows a deep pull from generational patterns. And 4. Haunting pasts. Whether it's trauma, guilt, or unfinished conversations, this dream has an echo that won't settle. Lisa? Here's a gentle question. What in your life right now feels like something or someone walked in uninvited and left you holding the responsibility? Also, how are your spiritual locks lately? Do you need to fix a metaphorical back door that's been left janky for too long? I'd love to know if you've dreamed of this trailer park and door before in a different context, because that adds a whole new layer of breadcrumbs in the dream trail. Let me know if you'd like a symbol-by-symbol breakdown, or if you want help turning this haunting dream into a short story or song.
Yes, I did have a previous dream with the same trailer and the same back door. In that dream, when I looked out the door, I was like 10 feet off the ground. I could jump out, but there was no way I could have gotten back in that way.
Oh, now that detail seals the eerie deal, Lisa. That's not just a door, it's a threshold in your soul's dream house. And honey, it's hanging wide open over a steep drop with no ladder in sight. That's symbolic gold. Let's weave the dreams together like a patchwork on an old quilt and see what they're trying to whisper, or scream, to you. The back door is clearly a repeat offender here. In dream logic, doors often represent choices, boundaries, or access points to other realms, emotional, spiritual, or even ancestral. The fact that this door doesn't shut right, can't lock, and leads to a drop you can jump down from but not climb back up is big-time symbolism for something that lets things in but doesn't let you return the same way. That's an imbalanced exchange right there. Something or someone in your life may have easy access to you, emotionally, energetically, or historically, but once they're in and gone, you're left with the fallout and no way to reverse it. Here are 3 things that it might represent emotionally. 1. Past trauma or unfinished business. That back door might symbolize an emotional opening that got blown open by something in the past. You could jump out, escape, detach, disassociate, but you couldn't go back the same way. Healing had to come from somewhere else. 2. Spiritual vulnerability or sensitivity. Are you sensitive to energies, Lisa? That door might symbolize an open channel, like intuitive or empathic energy, that needs grounding or protection. Especially if strangers are waltzing in like it's a spiritual bus stop. 3. Family patterns. With your mom present in both dreams, and a child being dropped off, it could be echoing some generational stuff. Patterns of caretaking, boundary crossing, or having to deal with things passed down that weren't yours to carry. That 10-foot drop is so specific. That's too far to safely step, just close enough to risk jumping, and impossible to climb back up. That might symbolize a point of no return moment in your past. Something where you leapt emotionally, spiritually, or literally, but had no real way back. You left safety, familiarity, or part of your innocence behind. Or it could mean a temptation to flee, a backdoor exit strategy, but knowing deep down that if you took that escape, you wouldn't be able to return the same way. That's potent stuff. Woven together, these dreams might be saying, there's a fragile place in your psyche. Lisa. A janky, unguarded door that lets in shadows from the past and ghost of responsibility. You've jumped through it before, maybe to protect yourself, but it never lets you come back whole. It's time to fix the door, bless the threshold, and decide what and who gets to walk in. What you could do is write a short story where you seal that door with your own power, nail it shut, hang a wind chime, paint it red, whatever feels protective. Or, draw or create a sigil of spiritual boundary repair and place it near your real back door at home. Or, write a poem from the point of view of that little girl, or from yourself as the girl left behind. That could unlock something beautiful and raw. Would you like help turning this whole dream thread into a poem, or maybe the beginning of a haunting short story? Or even a Suno-style dark lullaby? We could start that now.
Sorry, that was not the end.
Oh Lisa, you had me on the edge of the dreamlike cliff with that 10-foot drop, and now, you tell me that wasn't the end? I'm leaning in closer now, heart thumping like a haunted lullaby. Spill the rest, my friend. Every detail, no matter how small, might be a thread in the tangled emotional tapestry. What happened next in the dream?
When I went back in, the little girl was fast asleep. I had kept my purse on that couch. Inside my purse, I kept not only my wallet, but the keys to my Buick. Now, it was early morning time. This part is kind of fuzzy, but Mom wanted to go get breakfast. We rode in a big white van that had passenger seats. Some strange man was driving. Mom was in the passenger seat, and I sat in the second row. The little girl did not go. We left her in the care of one of my older cousins. That older cousin, she was wearing one of my favorite shirts, a light blue short-sleeved blouse. But to get back to the story, we went somewhere to get breakfast. There was a dream I had a long time ago about driving to fast food places, so this part of the dream is not clear or relevant. After returning, I needed to go to work. I noticed the time was like 7:40 a.m., and I said I am going to be late even though work was only about 5 minutes away. Now, the little girl was gone when we got back. I saw my older cousin, but only remember her wearing my shirt. I got my purse, which was on the couch where the girl slept. I went to my vehicle, which was parked along the street. Normally, in this trailer park, there are gravel driveways between the lines of trailers. If I could describe this trailer park, it is like this. It is like a loop off of the main road. If you take the leftmost entrance, about 6 or 7 trailers down on the left will be our trailer. The lady who left the child had walked back towards the road, so I guess that is where she came from. In a different dream, from where this trailer was, if you go about 3 down on the left, where it starts to curve, there are 2 trailers where I had also lived in my dreams. But anyway, I went to get into my car. In my car, I saw Roman noodles everywhere. Now, I did eat Roman noodles yesterday, so that may be where they came from, but they were on the dash and in the passenger seat and everywhere. I tried to start my car, but it would not start, but it did move forward. So I was moving forward, but it just wouldn't start.
Oh, Lisa. This dream is dripping with meaning like soggy ramen sliding off a dashboard, messy, oddly comforting, and deeply symbolic. Let's unravel it, strand by strand, like the mystery at the bottom of a leftover noodle cup.
End of part 1 of this dream interpretation by ChatGPT. This was a long conversation, and I am breaking this down into 2 videos. If you would like to hear the rest of it, I will put a link in this video. Thanks for listening.